Okay, before this starts, I'm just gonna let everyone know, this turned out to be a real shit show. So there was an update release that completely fucked up my mods, again, almost threatened to, end the playthrough and it's dead in its tracks, again. But I managed to fix that, sort of. I wasn't able to save properly, but I was able to get a file to load and get through everything. But I also encountered some very serious technical issues regarding frame rate. I'm not sure what's been causing this, but I have done everything I could to fix it, and nothing worked. It got so bad I actually had to cut out a section of the playthrough itself. Even really debated of just ending everything now, but I managed to get to the end. So I'll go ahead and show what I managed to capture. Just be aware that I wasn't able to get everything, and yeah, there are going to be some serious problems with this, but I managed to finish it, and I am sort of proud of that. And I do appreciate everyone who's watched up to this point. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I've encountered a minor catastrophe. A recent update on Pathfinder basically wrecked one of my mods. I was able to load the save file, but it's preventing me from basically reloading from saves that had that mod in it. So I am unable to avail myself of saves. Had real bad problems with frame rate drop. I'm hoping I fix that. Alright, let's see if this works.
After breaking the blockade of the demon armies and defeating Discari, the Crusade forces close in on the Threshold Fortress. The place where 100 years ago, the first rift between the planes was opened. The place where this story will end.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
No glory without...
I will resist!
So far, so good.
First try.
You won't survive me. Endure this! I will rip them in halves! Begone, fiend!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Prepare yourself. Away, you rascal!
Make every strike count. Did you see that? Crush them!
Doshoni Sabitur!
Into the fray!
Desna, guide my hand! peace.
Idle Destroyer. I think just sounds lovely.
The inheritor, guide my blade. the fray!
Alright, should calm him down for a bit.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
I will resist! Your time is over.
I'm done with you!
A dear guest on my doorstep. Please do come in. You have been long awaited. Nothing at all. We will talk. I promise. But not here. The path to your souls and the world womb's healing demands my death. The accursed threshold prison where everything began must be where everything comes to an end. So I invite you in once again. Cross this threshold. I'll be waiting for you in the heart of the fortress, in the place where the wound was opened.
My last battle. We win or we die. Either way, I'll never pick up a weapon again. I'm going home. It's been so long. My chance. I've thought a lot about this over the last few days. I don't want revenge anymore. I just want all this to be over. No, I can't rest yet. Celsia will be fighting. That means I will be too. To battle for the last time.
There it is. The Citadel of the Demon Army. You know, I expected it to be formidable and fearsome. Something that would make me quake in terror. But now that I am standing at its gates, I'm surprised at how little fear I feel. Do not mistake this for bravado. Our enemies are dangerous, but no more than that. We have traveled to the heart of the Abyss, and back again. Now we are home, on our own territory. This time, let it be the invaders who quake in terror. When I set out for war, I imagined that I would find Trevor and together we would fight the demons, shoulder to shoulder. Fate has a caustic sense of humor. My dream came true, but not at all as I imagined. The reality of war shattered many of my romantic notions. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that he is here with us. And today we will win, all of us together. I had to. If I had a choice, I probably would have stayed the same naive little boy I was before the war. The boy who had never killed, who had never been to the abyss, who had never buried those with whom he had sat around a campfire only the night before. Even so, when I set out to join this war, my head was full of so many romantic notions, more than usual for a naive little boy. But life found a way to shatter those most thoroughly. I will go home to Endoran. I will lay down my weapon and never pick up another so long as I live, save a knife for cutting grapevines. I will serve the goddess in our old temple, and when the peasant children come to pepper me with questions about the crusade, I will do my utmost to make sure that my stories give none the idea that there is anything beautiful or romantic about war. Ready. Let us drive the demons all the way back to the abyss!
With grace. I am calculating the likelihood of your victory. Taking into consideration the fortifications of Threshold, the long period it has been under demon control, and Aurilu Vorlesh, who is personally overseeing the defense, I would give the Crusaders a 30% chance of success at most. Of course, the presence of an illustrious scholar of Golarion in your ranks, meaning me, immediately increases your chances by 5%. Fear is an unproductive emotion that typically gets in the way of a good experiment. And I have never indicated that I do not support my loyal follower in her battle against the demons. I simply calculated your chances of success. If you win, I'll make sure to mention you in my encyclopedia. Aha! With that as an incentive, your chances have increased by 5%. Consider this my contribution to your victory.
I believe that was the Golden Lights artifact. What's this in a permanent effect of Good Hope? Or 24 hours, I should say.
Not a bad spot to end this war. Formidable, menacing. It has a certain style about it. Seeing as our contract is coming to an end, Commander, let me just say that you are the most impressive client I've ever had the pleasure to work with. And a highly lucrative pleasure it's been, too. Of course not. Where else would I have had so many adventures? Besides, it's thanks to you that I've been able to add so many accomplishments to my service record, which will boost my rates in the future. You know, it's jobs like this, the ones that are both fun and pay well, that make me love what I do. Huh. Well, it sure wasn't in the name of Iomade. Of course, money's not the be-all and end-all. You dimwits need someone with a clear head on your side, someone to watch your back. I know how you hero types love sacrificing yourselves at the drop of a hat. It's strong stuff from Garand. What do you think? Of course, it's worth its weight in gold. It's one of my little weaknesses that I refuse to give up. Now you're talking. Why don't you show me who it is we need to kill to win this war? Aurilu Vorlesh? I'll wish that lady sweet dreams with unalloyed pleasure.
Chief, is there any chance, even a tiny one, that we can just, call this whole thing off now and go home. Before, I would have just made a run for it, but I can't do that now. Something is holding me back, and I really don't like the thought of leaving you high and dry. See what you turned me into? If you want to send me to the front line, I ain't going, so don't even try that hero stuff on me. I'm gonna fight because I don't want to die. And because we're kind of friends now. And don't you go getting yourself killed either. I can't stand being sad, so just don't do that to me. And I won't be, at least not for long. I've got plans, you know, lots of them, like getting rich. I won't have time to be crying over dead heroes. But if you do survive, I'll make sure to cut you in. That reminds me, the Tiefling's merchandise is still at your disposal. So don't be afraid to ask if you find yourself in need of something.
This is it. The last fortress. It's been a long road from the river city to here. We walked and walked and walked along the road, and suddenly, there's no more road. Nobody is ready. It will be scary, very scary. In the last fortress, all the lies will end, and the truth will rise. It's scary, but it's good. Nobody knows what will happen next. People are afraid of the future, so that's why they make it up. They lie to themselves so it's not so scary. They convince themselves and others of the things they make up. But one day the future will come. The story ends, for better or worse. When everything's already happened, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And there's no reason to lie. The Redeemed Knights say they need me. I think they can manage fine without me, but maybe I really can help them somehow. I think we'll do a lot of good together. Hear that, Soot? It's time.
This endeavor rushes toward its conclusion. I wish to speak with you. To be honest, I almost stopped believing that I would live to see this moment. It has been at least 50 years since I stopped hoping and believing it could happen. And yet, here we are, at the entrance to Threshold. All thanks to you. I have made a great many mistakes in my life, and I suppose I shall pay for every one of them, in this life or in the afterlife. But few mistakes became apparent to me as quickly and as painfully as my feud with you. I feel really happy. I mean it. I thought I would not have enough strength to drag this burden of regrets along to the final battle. You are right. I shall fulfill your request, although it will be difficult. No one in Mendev knows the sacrifice that the creation of the ward stones demanded. The stones themselves are seen as a symbol of hope and safety. To destroy them would be akin to dismantling the fortress walls around Mendev's cities. It will provoke suspicion and panic, even if the demons are defeated by that time. But the angels have done their duty and should be freed. Therefore, should we win, I shall carry out your request, even if it means losing the people's trust. I am going to rule Mendev. What else? I do not seem to have much choice in that. I have become a symbol of battle and of the war for our liberation. I hope I am wise enough to become a symbol of peace, too. Yes, of course. May Iyomide be with you, or any other higher power you believe in.
Commander, you promised us victory when it seemed impossible, and you did not let us down. Doing the impossible is your specialty. You have led us here, to the very gates of the enemy's lair. Now we will end this century-long nightmare once and for all.
You're so good at toppling fortresses by now, you can almost keep time by it. The Great Garrison, Dresden, and now Threshold. So are we coming up on noon or midnight on the commander clock? Doesn't matter. The bards can settle that one. It's the hour of your triumph. Of course. It was a long time ago now, but it's not the kind of thing you forget. I was almost buried alive. If it wasn't for you and Sela, my skull would be lying in some cave right now with only rats for company.
It was unforgettable. That attack on the Grey Garrison was the last desperate push, the last hope of holding the city when it seemed only a miracle could save us. We would have died there. But you and Anevia leapt out of the ground, and then miracles began to happen.
We have a chance. And that's a far sight better than how things stood not so long ago. Of course, it's too early to celebrate. We've still got a battle to fight, the likes of which we've never seen before. But I think you can pull it off.
With you leading us, those monsters should be worrying about their chances of escaping with their lives.
Personally, I'm going to be doing a big pile of nothing. For a month, or maybe 2. Irabeth too. Wheedling, blackmail, violence. I'll stop at nothing to drag her away on her first ever vacation.
Whatever you say, I can see surrender is my only option. We've waited so long for this. Onward to victory!
Lead on, Commander.
This is it then. Threshold. A grubby little spot, isn't it? Looking around, I'm thinking to myself, maybe if we'd built it somewhere else, not in this god's forsaken hole, somewhere nicer, maybe than Arilu, as her name, wouldn't have revolted. Maybe there would have been no invasion. But anyway, what's the use in wondering? Well, War Chief, are you ready? Ready to thrash all these Fae and Oglins and other Puxies? Ready to boot that king of the grasshoppers back to his magical beetle land? If Discari had any wits about him, he'd not be readying for battle now. He'd be fleeing. His jaws are clicking in terror at our very names. On our own, we're heroes in our own right. But together, oh boy. But again, I've heard the giant bugs aren't known for their wits. You know what? Our last battle might be just around the corner. I feel at peace. Not afraid, not angry. I feel like we've already gone and won it. Like this Discari is just a tiny fly. We'll swat him, and then we can just start doing the things that really matter. Building houses, planting forests, catching griffins. But then, what would we have done with all the witches and mages? Maybe you're right. If we didn't bother them, they wouldn't bother us. Folk live like that in other countries with no problems at all. And they don't have world wounds opening up on them. And then, if you think about it, mages aren't the problem. The problem's them Oglins and Fae that were chomping at the bit to get into our world. Without Arilu, Discari, that dirty bug, would have just found other allies. Like my worthless brother. What am I not gonna do? That's the easier question. In war, there's only two things you can do. Kill and die. But in times of peace, there's no end to the things a man can do. The first thing in my list, of course, our wedding. They're gonna hear us celebrating on the other side of Galarian. Fight! To Sarkoris! For the Oles clan! For the war chief!
There it is. The heart of the wound. The source of all the evil that has been wrought here over the last 100 years. It all began here. And we will end it here. If Arilu Voralesh had never opened the world wound, I would never have ended up on Galarian. I would never have met Desna. Or you. I would never have embarked on the path of good. This invasion has killed so many innocent people, but it has also led to my redemption. It means my freedom has been bought with thousands of innocent lives. But I will do everything in my power to help you close this abomination so that no one else has to die. It's not about guilt. It's just that I am ashamed to take any joy in my freedom, knowing that this terrible war was the cause of it. Everyone would have been better off if the world wound had never been opened. But then I would have remained a monster. Perhaps one day I will atone for all the evil I did. But it took a far greater evil to make my redemption even possible. I did not do it alone. You have led your army to victory and me to my dream. I now have a dream of my own. I will pursue it. I am ready. Let the abyss tremble in fear.
Are we gonna stick it to the demons one last time? Back at you, friend. So, are we going to crush some demons? It's time to show them the door once and for all!
I think if you accept Noctulia's gift, it makes it harder to get the ideal ending. I forgot to rest. Just gonna use a rest cheat right now. I'm hoping I got the frame rate issue under control. I tried recording once earlier, and that just made the whole thing unwatchable.
Prepare yourself! Killing is what I was...
Won't survive me. Your performance is lacking. You are lacking. I will crush them.
Come at me. I dare you.
Desna, guide my hand!
There's something over there. No challenge at all.
Here, I swear it.
The light take you!
Come at me, scum.
Make your peace.
Endure this!
This is my time to shine. Hey, have a look.
Make every strike count.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
No time for debates.
Into the fray!
Prepare yourself!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The light, take you!
Desna, guide my hand!
You won't survive me. battle, my friends! Endure this!
78 AC, of course. Of course. So you may be able to solve this. That's probably okay.
Can't be dismissed as a calculation error. You knew failure was a possibility. Then why? Why? Yes, it's decided. I will tell you the truth before we fight to the death. Would you like to know why I upended your life? This place is my demi-plane. I created it when I was a prisoner in Threshold. I would slip away to conduct my rituals here in secret. This is where I decided to create what mortals would later call the World Wound. This is where I made all my preparations. Do you understand? Escaping was never my goal. I could have easily disappeared from Threshold. I could have passed through it like water through sand. Some believe that I brought Sarkoris to ruin out of revenge, and I suppose there is some truth to that. I did have reason for revenge. You've been to the secret part of my laboratory and know what I'm talking about. Or at least you have an inkling. My laboratory. The old house in the middle of nowhere that marked the entrance to my lab. It was the home of Arilu Vorlesh when I was still a mere mortal. I lived there with my daughter away from the din of the crowd and sheltered from the keen gaze of the Sarkorian witch hunters. It was a place where the reality of our world was in close proximity to the abyss. A place where I could study the magic forbidden to all Sarkorians. I thought I had hidden my home well, but I was wrong. They found it. They found us. At that hour, I was there, in the laboratory. That damned laboratory I loved so much. I was absorbed in one of my experiments when the hunters arrived on our doorstep. I was sitting at my desk, recording my observations, thoughts and calculations, as was my habit. That's when I heard the noise outside. The fight was brief. It barely lasted a moment. By the time I sensed that something was amiss and hurried out to see what was happening, it was too late. All I could do was cradle the body of my dead child and cry after their departing soul. I promise, I am not concerned with whether it was justified or not, or with the application of morality, the law, or the teachings of any god. Look around you. This demi-plane. The first time I escaped from my cell and ran here, I was trying to resurrect my daughter. I tried many things, but all my efforts were in vain. The soul had already received Pharasma's judgment and had been sent on the path determined by the gods into the abyss. And when I realized that, I rebelled. But not against my jailers, not against those who had murdered my child, not even against Sarkoris. My uprising was against destiny, death, and the laws that the gods had forced upon our lives. I realized then that I wouldn't be satisfied with simply returning my daughter to life. I had to shatter this order once and for all, and make it so that neither Pharasma and her lackeys nor death itself could ever stand between us. Only by stepping beyond the bounds of what had been ordained for mortal kind, by obtaining powers that rivaled the divine, could we become free. And with this newfound purpose, I turned myself into a half-demon. Fusing the spiritual essence of the two planes was the only way I could achieve my goal. I let the abyss into my soul and into this world. I opened the world wound. I danced around 3 demon lords, making them assist me without ever revealing my true intentions. They just believed they were dealing with another power-hungry mortal. But in reality, I was after one thing. I wanted to find what was left of my daughter's soul and give her a new birth, one that would prevent anything from ever harming her again. And then I found you. I chose you because I felt a faint affinity to you. I thought your soul could accept the remains of my daughter's soul, like the soil accepts a seed. I thought that I could bring back my child by tethering the mangled remnants of her soul to a pure mortal soul untouched by the abyss. I thought the power of the Nahindrian crystals would allow me to protect her forever, that I could tear her away from the dominion of mortal nature. But I was mistaken in both assumptions. Now I'm about to face the consequences of my mistake. You will witness them as well.
Make every strike count. Is this a mock fight?
to go ahead and level up on the last mythic rank. And this is going on for a bit, so I think I'll go ahead and split this into 2 parts. Let's go. Okay, some bad news. I wasn't able to record the fight outside. For whatever reason, the frame rate dipped to like 5 frames a second. It was pretty bad. Unwatchably so. They fight everyone outside, including the people we left behind. So not the 2 custom mercenaries I made. Very long, miserable fight. I do not feel good about the frame rate here. Yeah, it was like this. Like, I don't know how to fix this.
The mortal who ventured recklessly into the abyss has now reached threshold. It is. If you think I do not pose a threat, then you are greatly mistaken. Just another mortal who thinks she can be something more than food for the forces of the abyss. He lost to you. He lost. The great Discovery himself lost to a mortal. So what happens if I succeed where the Great Lord failed? If an echo destroys the one its originator could not defeat, who would that make me? What would it prove? I'll risk my life to know. You are not just my enemy, you are my chance. A chance I won't miss.
Oh, he's in a state.
I will resist. Into the fray. Ha!
Yeah, I don't know what your plan was, buddy. Daddy couldn't beat me, and you sure as fuck couldn't do it either. Oh man, this is bad. Reinstalling it, scanning it, I've done everything I can think of. And it's still doing this. this wasn't where we needed to even be.
This is where it happened. It was here that I conducted the ritual, sewing my soul and the essence of the abyss together, feeling the world change around me as every stitch brought Galarian closer to the abyss. And it was here that even though you have no memory of it, I did the same to your soul. A researcher must not have any personal feelings for the subjects of their experiments. And yet, I find myself unable to remain completely detached from the world wound. I created it. I allowed it to be. It holds a place in my heart, even if I'm slowly paying for it with my life. A researcher must be particularly resilient in the face of mistakes, incorrect hypotheses, and failed experiments. You are my failed experiment. I think I'll feel some regret for ending your current life, but you can rest assured that such sentiments will not stop me. You're so adept at magic. Of course, I've been preparing for our meeting. And hopefully I've prepared well. Yes. And no. Even if I could have brought back my daughter, I wouldn't have stopped at that. I wouldn't have been satisfied. Not after what I'd gone through. Not after the things I'd learned. I wanted to become stronger. And I wished the same for my child. I didn't want to be afraid of anything. It wasn't the dogs of Threshold or even Sarkoris itself that threatened us. It was the laws of a world governed by death, weakness, and separation. That is why I needed the power of the Nihindrian crystals. I did not merely wish to stave off the agony of the wound. I wanted to tear my daughter from the grasp of everything that makes us weak and mortal. You have seen a goddess. You have been face to face with demon lords. Were you awed by their greatness? Do you enjoy living in a world where your entire life cycle has been predetermined? Where everything, from your birth to what will happen to your soul after you die, has been decided for you? Or do you find now that you have experienced the mythic power coursing through your blood, that you prefer to live in a world that you can change. A world that offers you a chance to be anything you want. I also want to make the world a better place, but not for everyone. Only for the one person I care about. If a hypothesis is proven wrong, it needs to be rejected. But the research process does not stop there. That is all I can tell you right now. It will kill me eventually, but I still have some time left. Years, or decades perhaps. But it doesn't matter. One of us will die today. When I poured what was left of my daughter's soul into your soul, I was expecting it to bring her back. They say death and the judgment of Pharasma purges the soul of everything it once was in life. But this cannot be true. I have researched this subject meticulously and have collected enough evidence to prove that supernatural beings born from mortal souls can recall their past. Sometimes partially, sometimes fully. I watched you day and night, waiting for it to happen. For your memory to awaken, or your instincts at least. For anything familiar, something I could immediately recognize. I tested you. I asked you questions and... nothing. Nothing. And it's finally time to end all this. Yes. It was bound to happen, and happen it will. I am ready. Death is not the end. I have spent 100 years trying to prove it, and I will not stop now. This experiment was unsuccessful, but that just means I need to adjust the initial conditions and try again. I am still alive. I still have time. You, the current you, will have to die. But only to surrender the soul you share with my daughter. I will start over. This time I will do everything differently. I will work with even greater precision. I will turn the world upside down if I must. I promise.
Well, here we go. Had you cut out the earlier fight outside. This frame rate dropped to, what, 3, 4 per second? Much better. I've done everything I can to fix it, but when I does was...
You've crossed the wrong mountain.
73. I should probably not rush her. Do your best, Trevor. Jeez. That was not bad, Trevor. Is she immune to a disruption? Yes, she is. Of course she is.
Prepare yourself!
The light take you!
that stuff. That doesn't make sense. She is not fucking around here. Right, that will work, don't it?
You won't survive me.
Huh. That actually was more effective than I thought it would be. Good job, Sozu.
Desna, guide my hand!
I never thought that I would be responsible for the creation of my most powerful enemy.
I've been waiting for you to get distracted, so I can stab you in the back!
Man, that is cold, Suture.
How very perceptive. But you didn't think I would make it easy, did you? I won't let you win. You need me alive. You want to use me to close the wound, but I can destroy myself before you have a chance.
Come on.
You're right. I won't gain anything from this. So what now? You are stronger than I could have anticipated. As your creator, I should be proud to be defeated by the one I have imbued with power. Is there any higher praise? But I'm tired. You won't hear me pleading. Let us finish this experiment here and now. Here are my last words. I regret nothing.
Actually feel kind of bad about that. Not the best ending for him, but not terrible. Yeah, whoops. Wish he got a happier ending, but I guess that's the best we can get for him. he overcame being a deadbeat dad.
And what of me, the writer of these words? The half-demon witch known as the architect of the world wound. I was defeated and fell at the hand of the one I had tried to transform. My experiment ended in failure, and my life ended along with it. I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma, Lady of Graves. Not only of my life, but of the Commander's also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess's curiosity. Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess.
The laws of the universe have existed for millennia. They are incontrovertible, but even they allow the decider of fate some degree of influence over the verdict. You wrought great evil, while it stemmed from the evil that was done to you. Your actions far exceeded it. Your soul is dark, and there is only one place for you in the universe. And yet, the one whom you harmed most of all now appeals to me on your behalf. I shall send you to the Maelstrom, the plane on the edge of the world. A place to which the gods' gazes do not stray. There you will find yourself. Or you will perish in the whirlwind of chaos that is your soul. So be it. Now you, the mortal who has risen so high as to stand boldly in the presence of the goddess of fate. You have done the impossible, and you will be remembered as long as this universe exists. Go, live out the rest of your life. I look forward to tales of your future deeds.
Okay, so I managed to get through it, and I deeply apologize for all the technical issues that I had throughout this video. I did my best to fix them, but I just wasn't able to manage it. You know, for a while I actually thought it'd be a good idea to just cancel this outright. But I finally got to the end of it. So the next one, there are actually a lot of games I got. I'll go with Final Fantasy VII next. See you guys next time.